Hello guys, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and today I have a review for the film from 1970 entitled Mark of the Devil. I picked this film up a long time ago at Borders Books and Music, if you remember that store before it went under. I just blind bought it off of the cover, and it being a witch hunt type film, it caught my attention. But yeah, I've had it for years, and I watched it. I've seen it a couple of times, but it had been a long time since I watched it. And it tells the story of Count Christian von Meyer, played by Udo Kier. He works with this group of people who go around to different towns hunting witches and basically putting them to death. And it's all under a guy named Lord Cumberland, played by Herbert Lom. So what happens in the story is they show up to this town, and the local witch hunting guy there, his name is, he goes by Albino, that's his name, played by the awesome Reggie Nalder. He's just a creepy ass dude. But he's not too keen on them killing, his witches. Like, he wants to be the one to be doing this stuff. And there's this woman there, her name is Olivera Katrina, or actually Vanessa is her name. She's played by Olivera Katrina. And she turns down Albino's advances. So Albino's like, I'm just going to say you're a witch and we will put you to death. And that's exactly what he does. But meanwhile, Christian, Udo Kier, he takes a liking to her, and he knows that she's not a witch. Like, Christian is a very honest guy. He's trying to do the Lord's work. He's trying to, cleanse the world of the evil out there. And, but he starts to see things a little bit differently, especially when Lord Cumberland shows up. He starts to realize that, these people aren't what they seem. They really don't have the Lord's work in mind. Basically, what they're doing is, they're taking their power from the church and stealing people's money, their possessions, their land, and he starts to rebel from that. And that's really the story of Mark of the Devil. This is it's supposedly loosely based on what really happened over in England. I'm not sure how close it is. I'm sure that it's quite different. Maybe just taking the basis of the story, but I'm not real sure on that. But Udo Kier is great in this. He's very, very young, and this is probably the earliest role I've ever seen him play. And Olivera Katrina is just absolutely gorgeous in this film. It shows there's a lot of scenes with them getting to know each other and flirting around and stuff. So you get invested in the characters, and you start to care about them, and you see that Vanessa is not an evil person at all. It's actually these people who are trying to do away with the evil that are very evil. Lord Cumberland is an impotent man, and he does not take too kindly to people pointing that out. And as I mentioned, Albino, by Ralph Nalder, I think that's how you say his last name. He's just a creepy guy, and he's just all around just a rotten character. And Reggie plays it tremendously well. Very, very good performance in this film. And you would think, this film would have witches in it, or supposed witches, but actually it's not that at all. Like, none of these people that they are accusing or killing are actual witches. They're just people that they want to steal from and take things from. It shows a very dark side to the church and to the witch hunts that happen. This does take place in the 18th century. And one thing I can see people saying about this is that it's kind of slow. There were parts in this where I thought the film kind of drug along. It's going along at a good pace until Lord Cumberland comes along. Then the pace kind of falls off, but then it picks up again, and it ends well. There are a lot of torture scenes in this, like, people being stretched, people having their tongues cut off, as you can see here on the cover, people being strapped down to chairs with a burning pot underneath them, and things like that. There's a lot of torture scenes, a lot of scenes of people being beaten. But you know, I think there's strong performances in this, and I think, you know, a lot of people would probably like this if they gave it a chance. You know, it's an exploitation film. It's heralded as, you know, says positively the most horrifying film ever made. And apparently, when this film came out, they gave out barf bags at the when you bought your tickets, because it was just so graphic for its time. By today's standards, it's not graphic at all. Maybe some, you know, there's probably some disturbing scenes. It just depends on, you know, the types of films you watch, I guess. But you know, I still like it. It's a good film. I love, you know, they really captured that period, you know, with the costumes and the sets and everything in it. There's some, you know, it just really captures that 18th century look, I think, in the film. But yeah, it's not for everybody, but if you're into exploitation films, or exploitation light, I guess you could say, witch hunt type films, religious horror films, give it a shot. I give Mark of the Devil an 8 out of 10. Yeah, this is the Blue Underground release. Very good. You know, Blue Underground always puts out some awesome releases, and this is no exception. So yeah, guys, that's Mark of the Devil. Check it out. I hope you all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Later.